What is going on, everyone? Riddict here, and welcome to Off the Shelf Airguns. Today we are down here on the range with the Crosman Legacy 1000. Haven't had the original Legacy 1000 out in quite some time, and quite frankly, I want to do a little bit of a revisited review. We are going to review this bad boy today. I know I've already done it in the past, but sometimes I like to come back and do it again and see where we're at. So this is a revisited review of the original Crosman Legacy 1000. Of course, you have your crossbolt safety here, okay, just like you would on this model. Receiver is polymer. I know that bothers some people, but you can still get the 2100 with the metal receiver. Of course, you got your bolt here. Sight is adjustable for elevation and windage. You have to loosen these screws right here to adjust for the windage, and then of course your elevation. Fiber optic front sight right here. It is multi-pump, 12 pumps up to 1000 FPS with alloy, that is. BBs, if you want to use BBs, go right in here. I don't personally use BBs. It is a rifled barrel. People have their own opinions about that. I just like sticking with pellets. That's just how it is. But if you did use BBs, you have your follower over here that you'll pull back, tip and load your BBs in, and then put your follower back and you're ready to rock and roll, okay? As far as pellets, it is single shot. Of course, everything else on this is plastic, polymer, whatever, but it still feels pretty solid for what it is. Pretty solid. The big difference with this versus the 2100 that they currently produce is your pump arm is metal. You have a metal pump arm in there. All right, whereas on the 2100 it's actually a plastic pump arm, so that's where you're, I guess, getting the extra oomph behind it. As far as the FPS goes, I don't know, but that is a difference that I figured I'd point out. Today we will be using the Crosman hollow points to stick with that budget off-the-shelf theme, and they are 7.9 grain, 177 caliber, of course. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and we will start out the right way, the only way that you should be starting these. Pating! Yes. Quit saying pating, that's annoying. And guess what, buddy? You came to the wrong channel if you don't want to hear pating. And everybody in the comments will let you know too. So, yes sir. It's pating around here, whether you like it or not. Let's go. You know what? Let's go to that saw blade that's out there a little ways. Pating. This bad boy is pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. If you put a scope on it, I think you'd be really good to go at I'd say up to 50 yards, you'd be really good to go with this, with an optic on it, okay? Let's go ahead and do what we need to do here. We always do. Let's go for the black diamond. I'm not doing any specific amount of pumps. I'm just doing more or less based on where I'm shooting. So we're going black diamond. Pong. That's right. Yippers. Yippers. Now, how about we finish this little part off with good old Colonel Clink. Finish it off with the old Colonel Clink there, okay? No idea what I just did there, but let's just keep going. Pink. So we're gonna go ahead and fire up the chronograph now, see what we can get with the 7.9 grain lead pellets. It does claim up to 1000 FPS. That of course is with alloy, so we're probably not gonna sniff the 1000 FPS, but we're at least gonna see what we can do with what we got. All right, we're all set up with the chronograph, ready to rock and roll. Now, I will say this, with my FX chronograph with 177 caliber, if you start getting up above, I mean, if you get up above 800, it kind of doesn't want to register with 177. So we'll see what we can do. 12, can we get it to register? Hopefully.
700, 200, 13.
700 FPS with the full 12 pumps. Now, that could be on or off a little bit. I am going to put up the numbers from my old video, just put them up on the screen for you to compare what we got when we did that Obviously that was with a Caldwell chronograph, which is more appropriate for a 177 caliber. The FX Guns chronograph, it just does not like 177 caliber. It's fussy. It likes 22 caliber and up. However, we are going to try low power and see what it does. Not crazy low, we're gonna go 3 pumps. So, 3, okay?
433, 132.
433. I feel like it's right where it was in my old video. Could be wrong. Again, you're gonna see the numbers on the screen from the old video, and then you can compare them to what we're seeing here now. 433 with 3 pumps, and what, 700 with the full 12? So it's nowhere near that 1,000. And I'm not so sure we could get there with alloy either, okay? So just know that. I think the most I got out of it was maybe 890, maybe with alloy. But again, elevation plays a part. I am not crazy high above sea level. I am at 900 feet, so nothing crazy. It's not like Colorado where it's 5,000 some feet above sea level, right? Nothing crazy. So that is gonna play with a little bit, but it ain't gonna play with it all that much from where I'm at, okay? But there you go. There's your chronograph reading. I had to fight with a little bit to get something going, but we got it. Now, what I want to do is a trigger pull test. I don't even remember if I did one on the review of this I've done in the past. So we're going to do it now. I know, I tend to forget to do this on certain ones. I forgot to do it on a recent one I just did. And we will have to come back and do it, obviously. The old Wheeler trigger gauge. Here we go. £5 pounds. So, not the lightest thing in the world at 5 pounds. No, no, no. But you can get in there, you can't adjust this normally, but you can get in there and make adjustments to it to lighten the load, so to speak. But I want to try that one more time, okay? I want to try it just one more time and see what we get here. Well, that was a little better. 4 pounds, 6.7. Okay, so 4 pounds, 6.7. Not terrible. It's not good either. But it is to be expected with what we got here. All right. So there you go. There's the trigger pull. It is a little heavy. I've seen way worse, so keep that in mind. And now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of an offhand accuracy and see what we can do with that. We'll do 10 yards and see what we can do offhand. Alrighty folks, we've got a target set up at 10 yards. We're just going to see what we can do with a little offhand shooting with this bad boy. That's all we're going to do. Okay. I'm not going to go crazy power either. I think we'll just do 4 and see what we can do with that. Okay. Here we go. 4. Okay. Okay. Not a bad first shot, really. Haha. There we are. There we are. Ooh, check that out. Stacked them up on that one. I like it. I like it. If you know what that's from and how it's said, then you know what's up. Oh, I messed that one up. Of course I did. Get going good and then I do that. All right. Okay. Kind of stacked them up on that first shot, huh? We'll do a couple more here. Couple more. Okay, well, I'm not going to complain about it, that's for sure. Not at all. Got a bonus pating out of it. Hear that? Hey, that's not bad for a little offhand shooting at 10 yards. I'm stacking them up on the same two holes, except for that one flyer there. So we're gonna do one more. You know how I am. Well, it's the last one, man. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. All right, this is the last one. Here we go. Ha! Right in between them. All right. I'll take it. I will take it all day long. Now keep in mind, you got an 11mm dovetail on here, so if you want to put an optic on it, you can. Some of these come with the little 4x15 scope, and if all you're doing is 10 yards, that'll probably work just fine. But in my experience, I really don't use those. I do prefer the open sights. That's just me. That doesn't mean you have to. A lot of people can't use open sights just with their vision and stuff, or they're just not comfortable with it, or they need the bench rest and the optic, right? I just like offhand shooting, but you know me. We always come back and do bench rest and other stuff, optic, things like that. So just know that if you put an optic on this, I think you're good with this up to 50 yards. I think you can get your shot down up to 50 yards with a good optic and a bench rest and whatever, you know, things like that. But yeah, I just wanted to bring out the old Legacy 1000, the original classic Legacy 1000, and revisit it. Do a little bit of a revisited review, and we're gonna do more of these coming soon. We're gonna do other ones that I've done in the past, other really nice budget-friendly air guns. We're gonna revisit them and review them. I've done revisited reviews before, but we're gonna continue it because I really like coming back and seeing what we can do now with them. After I've had them for a while, used them for a while, where are they at after they're really broke in, right? So I think that's a really cool thing. Of course, we're always gonna do new stuff and things like that, but yeah, look forward to more revisited stuff. And if you like that kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified when I upload more videos. And with that said, I will catch you all down the road.